Good evening and welcome to the debate. There are two BJP governments in Haryana and Maharashtra who, if they want, can come together, take over the management of the Ryan school and arrest Ryan Pinto. But if they don't, and if they won't, then I will assume that politicians don't care if a 7-year-old child, 15 minutes after being dropped into school by his father, is killed, his throat slit and left to bleed to death, that the politicians won't care, and I will assume that the death of a 7-year-old doesn't matter to these politicians. What kind of country do we live in? Where a very wealthy family that owns a chain of schools continues living its normal life, while parents who put all their life's earnings together to educate their child in Ryan International School are forced to go to the Supreme Court today crying for justice for their child who's been killed. What kind of country do we live in where the super rich school tycoon Ryan Pinto casually puts out a video message from his plush home saying he is the victim and that he cannot be held responsible? Because you see, this man Ryan Pinto can arrange for and pay for any battery of expensive lawyers, and he is doing that. The parents can't afford those expensive lawyers, so the parents suffer. They run helter-skelter to find an ounce of justice in this politicians and money bag run unequal and cruel society. Why, ladies and gentlemen, does the court not step in? And I don't care if the courts mind this, but why don't the courts step in? And why don't the courts use their power to unilaterally, suo motu, demand the arrest of Ryan Pinto? The courts can do it, and the courts know that notices to ministries get bureaucratic responses. It delays justice. And we expect justice from the courts, and I'm sorry, but the courts should know. The honorable justices, with the greatest of respect to them, should know that this family whose child has been taken away so brutally represents every Indian family whose life today can be ripped apart and whose children can be killed and who will be made to feel that all the anger in their heart will not be able to fight the money, that all the suffering they go through will not be able to fight the power on the other side. And I'm saying this tonight: if you want to defeat money, arrest Ryan Pinto. If you want to defeat power, arrest Ryan Pinto. Send a signal out. And if the people of India should once again take over the country, then arrest Ryan Pinto. I appeal to the courts tonight: unilaterally act. I take suo motu action. Those pictures of the child having been killed should be a wake-up call. I request the courts, I implore the courts as a citizen of India, arrest Ryan Pinto. This is a wake-up call. Khattar, do something. Arrest Ryan Pinto. Let the government at the center arrest Ryan Pinto. They can. We want to know whether if they will.